Salut, bonjour, Kirsten. Hello, everyone. Bonjour, comment ça va? J'espère que tu vas bien. Je suis la Mélodie de la Croix Imperial Monumentos de la Livre. Bienvenue sur ma chaîne. I am the Hoodoo Queen of the Imperial Court, Monumentos de la Livre. Today, we're going to bring our focus to spell work with tarot, as well as playing cards. But before we get into this conversation, and bringing you some points and things that you need to elevate yourselves as conjurers beyond diviners, beyond seers, beyond the other things that you may or may not be. Before we get into all of those things, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, leave a sweet, kind comment below, hit your notifications and post notification buttons, and please share the video. D'accord? Super. Merci. So, firstly, I want to just bring up some very clear, quick points here. But maybe I should say hello to the people in the chat. Hello, Amanda. Hello, Shania. Hello, oh hey, Sunny. Similion. Sophia. Your post yesterday was divine, by the way, Sophia. Ishay. Um, Sukanami, I believe. Pardon. Jay. Hello, everybody. Rikayla, how are you? So, we are coming up on the 2025 Hoodoo Queen Conjure Fete. Now, I know right now there's nothing in the description box, but I will add it to the description box. I may have to add it later, to be honest. But I wanted to briefly just say, we are literally just months away, and we have some pretty big things that are going to be going on. We have quite the event. I mention a couple of things before we get too far into this video today with the discussion of spell work with tarot, etc. And that is bringing a focus. Can she do it? Can she do it though? Et voilà. In the description box, there are all the things now. But Mulani, hello, Oakley. How are you? Isaac, how are you doing? All right. So, yes, we're months away from the Conjure Fete. There's a couple of, I think, VIP tickets still available. How? I don't know. But what I will say is this. This week, I will be announcing Act 4. Act 4 will be all of the classes personally will be gifting you. Now, if you've been here for a while and you've been following, you know that I always have something extra. And so, I love this. I love it. So, Act 4 will be announced this week. And then Act 5 will be announced at the Fete. And only those that are at the Fete and those that have purchased your online virtual tickets are the only ones that will know about Act 5 before the world knows about Act 5. I do want to remind you that the gala is black tie, so make sure you have your gowns. Speaking about the gala, normally there are rules, regulations, there's protocol when it comes to these things. And one of those things are physical invitations. If you have made, and this is going to be a surprise, but there's some things going on behind the scenes that's causing me to do things outside of the chain of command, how things should be going. But if you've already have purchased a CONJURE ticket and you're coming in person, you will be receiving your physical invitation. However, as I mentioned to you all, you can do a +1, and your +1s actually get in for a huge discount. And you all will be receiving that either tomorrow or Tuesday. Beyond that, hello Shia, hello Shia. Beyond that, um, this up and coming Thursday, I'm releasing the video with myself and clan mother Shiran Wapatukwi Piper. And then the following Thursday, I hope all things go well for me this week so that I can introduce to you all a new segment that you all will be getting for free on Thursdays here on this channel. So I'm really excited about a variety of things. It's just a matter of having the time to get it all done efficiently. Hello, Impressive Magic. Hello, HSB. Pardon. Hello, everybody. Voila. So there's that. So again, I will say the last day to get your CONJURE tickets will be April 1st, if I'm not mistaken. So this is the last month. And if you've noticed, I have for a particular reason. And understand that when Act 4 comes out and what people are going to get when they it's one of those things. It's like if you're not in, you won't know. If you're not there virtually or in person, you will not know. Um, you are going to miss out. I'm not even sorry about it, to be honest. Honnêtement, oui. Et voilà. So let us go ahead and begin to unpack today's class. I'm going to have this sip of coffee. I need a straw, but I don't think I have one. So good. C'est bon. C'est très bon. Et voilà. Queen, this class is literally in alignment with me. I was just thinking about this last night. It's because I made you think about it last night. All right, so let's get into it. The first thing is, I'm just going to speak this. Oh, yes, yes, yes. One last thing. Last month's community service, you all should have been receiving your items in the mail. You will be receiving your video this week and two PDFs. Two PDFs. Again, I always want to make sure I'm giving y'all something a little bit extra. And actually, I've already thought about your free gift with purchase for March. So, merci, Diana. This is, what is this? It's MAC, this lip color. It is, uniformly fabulous. But this is the matte color. However, some of my most divine, incredible followers and students think they know me, right? I don't know. But they've given me or gifted me this Dior lip color, which actually is very similar to this. And so the thing about the MAC is that it's matte. And so it's matte. The Dior is cream, so it's more moisturizing. That's not cute. That's not cute. Oh my gosh. How'd that even happen? Use the pointed side to clean up those edges. Et voilà, voilà. So, and also, speaking about makeup tutorials, just to let you guys know, as people of color, it's always important to put foundation on your lips because our lips are normally darker on the top and lighter on the bottom, or you normally have like the saliva pink discoloration or hyperpigmentation. If you put foundation over your whole lips, it makes it one color. That way, when you add your color, it looks the same. So it just creates a clear canvas. Normally you want to do that with something that's going to be matte or is going to dry matte. You don't want to necessarily do it with something that's creamy because it's going to slide, it's going to move and blend. So just things to know. Voila. This is it. Yes, so Kirsten, you got it for me, but then somebody else got me the exact same color. Someone else got me the exact same color. So Kirsten, I know that you got it for me. And this is that one because I haven't used it up. And then someone else gave me the exact same color with Dior. And it's just interesting because Dior is one of my favorite brands in general, like fashion-wise. Anyways, let me stay focused. Can you contract like ADHD as an adult? Is that a thing? Like, can you get it? Y'all know I told y'all last video, like, stop self-diagnosing. But I think like I picked it up at a restaurant or something. I don't know. But also too, I'm very passionate about makeup and skincare and all of those things. So that's a whole thing. Like horses and beauty will always distract me. Yeah. So there's that. Okay. Oh, all right. So let us get focused. We are going to bring our focus to spell work with tarot. All right. The reason why, because if you have your doctrine of divination, you learn the importance about the culture in which these things come from. Now, within the method of magic known as hoodoo, we have always used playing cards for, hold on. Don't know if I need to use my Cowboy Carter playing cards or my regular like playing cards. Have y'all, this was also another gift. Y'all, a lot of people think like I just come out here and be doing all this big stuff for myself. I don't. Even all the clothes that I wear are clothes items that I've had a very long time. Decorations from like boutiques and things that I've owned in the past. It's just that way. Cowboy Carter, playing cards, the Joker. The rest of them are pretty simple. Look at Beyonce. Beyonce on the ace, on the ace of clubs. All right. So, in general and culturally, we literally have always used playing cards for not only divination, but as charms and elements to work. Elements to work, actually. Now, in the Institute, I do go through all of these things and give you insight to how different cards mean different things. It can be worked in different ways. Now, as we are looking into this space of working with cards, see, playing cards, and it's important that you understand that your playing cards is not the same as your tarot, number one. But when you are working with your playing cards, they can be used as a variety of different workings, all right? You have your black joker and your red joker, le diable rouge et le diable noir, the red devil and the black devil. So we know the red devil automatically is going to tell us that spiritual work can be done, should be done, etc. But the black joker or the black devil, all right, le diable noir, is going to give us that imprisonment. So to make someone, for example, have an issue where they are their greatest enemy, they're their biggest obstacle, taking the black joker, placing a personal concern here, folding it in half one time, sewing the edges, turn, fold, and this is something that my mother taught me actually. You take this and you place it in between two rocks and you hit the rocks together and then you bury it. And the person will go crazy in doing that. They become imprisoned in their own mind and they will go crazy with the black joker. So that is a very simple. Why did I start? Why did I choose violence today? I just came over and just chose violence. Anyways, it is what it is. I guess it's the spirit of 2025. 2024, oui. Et voilà. So this is a very simple way to use this. Now, there's other things to think about when you're using playing cards. For example, if I was here to do, wow, the aces come up, the spades come up first. So let me flip the cards around. Let's bring a little bit of love into our lives, and that way. So, for example, this card, the Ace of Hearts, is a card, number one, that is about compassion, it's about love, it's about sweetness, it's about kindness. So if you, in fact, wanted to sweeten a situation, if you wanted to make things better, you could take, say, for example, you're having issues in your home, there's arguing, there's fighting, and those things. Take something of yours, something of the persons you're arguing with, and then you're going to take honey, make a 4-point spot. Now, when you do this, you want to make sure that your honey, I say 4-point spot, it ends up being a 5-point spot, but you want the honey to be there, okay? You don't want them in the corners because that's going to cross, but you actually want to put sweetness on your roads. So you're making a crossroads when you do that. So you're bringing sweetness in your rows. Place something of yours, something of theirs here. In this fashion, you can fold it towards you, sew it, fold it towards you. If you want this to continue to work, you then want to put this in aluminum foil. If there is a center place in your home, whether it's your kitchen, but preferably a fireplace that you can stick in the back or whatever, is where you don't want to do these things, all right? Now, you can also make packets out of this as well. There's just X's, my dear, on there. I can see it on my side of the camera, so you should be able to see it on your side of the camera. There's X's in those spots, and that's where you're going to put the honey. All right? That's going to just bring some sweetness into your life. All right? Should we go a little bit less kind? So, say for example, do I want to? I don't know if I want to make someone dishonest or if I want to make someone overly emotional. Here's one. Here's one, for example. The 10 of Hearts. The 10 of Hearts on its own provides you with the ability, it is the card of marriage, engagement, long-term commitments. When you're dealing with this card, it's great for if you're looking to sign a lease, get a car, things that have long-term commitments. If you are trying to create a long-term commitment between you and a person, this is the card that you're going to want to use, all right? Now, with this particular card, and there's the reasons why I'm bringing this up in this way, but this card in itself brings up commitment, and you can use this card simply to put in your mattress something of yours, something of theirs. Now, how you want to do this, if you want to surround this thing all together, take 2 of these, all right? 2 10 of Hearts, place something of yours, something of theirs. Also, adding coriander powder. If you can find hummingbird vine blossoms, powder those, add those to your cards. Place the cards together, sew them on the perimeter. Now this is a packet. Stick this under your bed, in your mattress. Oh, de la silence, my love. It's just FedEx. Is this? So here's the thing about Mercury retrograde, and thank you so much for bringing that up. The planets of it all, okay? Pardon-moi. Pardonnez-moi, pardon. Taylor, my love, please be quiet. It's just the FedEx people. I don't even think they're coming over here. They may them, but I don't think so. I don't know. So, what do you mean sew the perimeters? So you literally take a needle and thread and you sew the perimeters. So you have 2 of these together and sew them together like that. And so you actually now have a packet. Your herbs and things on the inside is together, and that's how you sew the perimeters. All right? So, um, so when it comes in Mercury being in retrograde, all right? Yes. So when Mercury is in retrograde, I'm going to tell y'all this about planets in general. When Mercury is in retrograde, Pluto, Saturn, or whatever else, there is nothing you can do to affect what you're supposed to be learning. Learn what you're supposed to learn during these retrogrades. A lot of people want to make, oh, this is a Mercury retrograde, oh, it's going to make things easier. Not really, to be honest. The biggest thing for you to do is to learn through the processes of those things, all right? But if communication is a problem, we then want to sweeten that tongue, all right? We want to work the communication aspects of things. So if I need to sweeten something or I need favor, we actually are going to go with the Nine of Hearts. With the Nine of Hearts, I can take my person and I'm going to use a personal concern and I'm going to place here. Strand of hair here, a strand of hair here. Take a drop of honey, place in the heart, and one piece of cloth, place here. Fold it away from you. Or if you are also looking for long-term commitment with this favor, adding the 10 together. Now sew these together. This way you get favor and the long-term commitment to that. That lipstick shade is absolutely beautiful on you, ma'am. Merci. Thank you so much, Pari. You're so kind. All right? And that way. Another way that you can get the perimeters together actually is just taking honey and place on the edges, and it'll stick together. It'll stick together either way it goes. Either way it goes. You can also do sugar water as well. It takes a little bit longer to become tacky due to the sugar, but that is also something else that you can do. So you have that as well. Now, as we venture off into another suit, yes, so you can wrap it in aluminum foil to keep the spell going. As we venture off into our clubs, all right? Road openers. The road opener card is going to be the Six of Clubs. Simply taking the Six of Clubs and placing this under the sole of your shoe will open your roads. If you're looking for opportunities and you're really trying to work something really, really well, simply putting this in your shoe will do that. This card on its own will do that. You don't need anything else. But again, if this is too much for you, after you've burned this to an ash, you can sprinkle the ash in your shoes or under your feet so that your roads are open. The roads you walk are, in fact, open. All right? But because I want to choose violence for the person that has done me wrong, I will take this card. What do I want to put on their roads? Sickness. I will take these two cards together, the Six of Clubs and the Five of Spades. I will add their personal concern here. All right. I will then, listen well, place these cards together. I will take two needles. One needle I push through, so it's going to be laying flat. Do I have my needles? One moment, please. needle number 1. That's a tapestry needle. No, we want a pointy one. And needle number 2. We cross them. So you have the 5, you have the 6 of spades, and it will be connected with this one. And you do the needles through both. And this is going to cross them. It will put sickness on their roads. All right. So a 6 of whatever suit is essentially like rice in bringing something. Not necessarily, because it doesn't just bring, it can also release. A road opener is in fact a cleanser. It's a removal. It's not an opening. Okay. It's not necessarily an attraction. It is just an opening. It's a road. So when you're looking at the 6 of any suit, it's a road. But what does that road bring? The 6 of heart, love, sweetness, kindness. The 6 of clubs is going to be open roads, opportunity, positive life lessons, etc. Diamonds, money, financial situations, professional benefits, etc., so forth and so on. And spades, negative things. All right. Can a picture be used as a personal concern? Yes, and you literally just put it in the center. But of course, I always tell you all, don't worry about the picture. What do you need if you have nothing else? And everyone should know this by now, actually. All right. And that is salt. Salt, 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 salt. Speak the name of your person into that salt, and that salt at that point will be that person if you have the ability to the gift of tongue. I promise y'all, a lot of people sleep on salt, but I've take salt, throw in her daughter's yard, and within 24 hours, she was bleeding golf ball-sized blood clots out of her nose. I've seen this here in Mobile. So don't sleep on salt, everybody. So there's that. All right. So that capacity, but the same, but different. I need something positive on my rows. So I can remove these for the negative stuff, right? But I also my rows. I would take the 6 of clubs and say, for example, I was looking for somebody to provide for me. I need the things that I need. I'm going to take the king of diamonds, place these together, and I can add honey or anything to stick it together, and then I would sew them. I would sew the perimeters. All right. And that can be used as your charm to bring that provider or bring the things that you need. All right. Super. Voilà. Ensuite, are you all enjoying this today? If you are enjoying this, please give the video a thumbs up. Leave a sweet, kind comment below now. But also, once this video is uploaded, make sure that you comment with the uploaded video. And always remember, I am absolutely willing to accept your super chats and super stickers if you find this to be valuable to you. Thank you, Deanna. Thank you so very much. I greatly appreciate it. So the next thing is we're going to shift over. Hold on. Do I want to just end there with that? Do I want to? What else would I like to do with clubs? Open roads. That's always such a good one. If you're trying to discover something, all right? If you're trying to discover something, you need to see something, you need to figure out who it is, how it happened, so forth and so on. You're going to want to grab the Queen of Clubs, as this is your psychic, this is your seer. Take this and simply place this in a bowl of water with glass broken under your bed, and you will dream of the person you need to see, etc. All right, you need to trust what you see, though. Trust what you see, because she's going to show you who it is. Whether you believe it or not is on you, but you have to trust what she shows you. Thank you, Jasmine. You're so kind. Thank you so very much. So there's that. Why not? Let's confuse people. So the Jack of Clubs plus one of my favorites, because one of the biggest things that confuses people is their emotions. So we're going to jump back over here with the Seven of Hearts. Adding these two together will cause someone to be highly emotional and incredibly confused. But if I want to add to this even worse, I'm going to add the Jack of Spades. Wherever they are. Jack, where are you? There you are. Found you. Okay. So these right here will truly confuse someone, but not only of spades will make them impulsive. So to make this person impulsive, I would take these cards, all right? You can put them all together, making sure they're all facing each other. But the way that I personally do this for myself is I take both of my confusion cards, because they're black, on the outsides, I ash this one. And then I put the ashes on the inside of the card with the personal concern, and then I close these up together. Will I sew these together or will I use a needle? Well, to be honest, excuse me for speaking so loud. I forgot I'm wearing a mic. I do apologize. Pardonnez-moi. Is that for specific things you want to know, or can you use it in general? No, you can use it for general clarity as well. For general clarity. Pari, Queen, can you do a class on truth and exposure work? Well, actually, the working with the Queen of Spades, with the Queen of Clubs, excuse me, really does provide that space of truth, because it gives you clarity of those things, and it does expose. Which is why when we do the doll baby work and we put the glass in the eyeballs of the doll baby, la poupée, avec the glass, okay? The glass, the shards of the glass, and the doll baby's eyes. I was thinking to myself, do I have any examples around? I don't have any dolls out here. They used to be out here though. So I was just thinking how fun this is. It's super wonderful. So that's what I would do there. But anyways, you can use the needles again, but you can also use thread and sew across this way. So you can sew an X across. Now, Now, would y'all like to elevate this? Okay. I know someone who has been harming me for 6 years and would love to expose them. Yeah, I would do the doll baby working, or I would do the Queen of Clubs work so that you're able to see who they are. Thank you, new one. You're so kind. So to elevate this, to really mess this person up, I am literally going to take. Do I have my thread? I thought I had some thread over here. Where's my thread? Okay. So, anyways, what you're going to do is take those three. Take those three. You are then going to take thread that you're going to sew an X across this, but you take the thread and you anoint the thread with lemon oil, with cursing oil, which is going to cause them to suffer. So you anoint your thread with the lemon oil. Once you have anointed your thread with the lemon oil and you're telling them how they're going to suffer, you then take that thread and you weave that thread through the cards. That then will be the bones of this curse. When you begin to sew things, you are literally creating the infrastructure, the bones, the foundation of the spell is there, okay? Okay, Snickers says, hey, can I get into hoodoo? Um, if I'm an East African, I heard that it's a close practice. So in case you do not know, my mother's side of African descent is East African. All right, so that's number one. So the answer is yes. Most importantly, because no matter if you're East African, West African, North African, South African, unless you're Elania Musk. Yes, you heard that right, Elania, because she's acting out. Um, so hoodoo is American. It was born in America. All right. It is the mixing of a variety of African cultures here in the U.S. throughout the transatlantic slave route. So there's also East Africans that came over from that route, etc., so forth and so on. Most importantly, understand this because people want to say it's a closed practice. Let me explain to you something. To learn anything is free. To educate yourself on anything is free. You can, in fact, educate yourself on all the things. It's not going to matter. If you don't have the gift to conjure, it doesn't matter if you're East African, South African, North African, Low African, High African. Um, an African with the box, an African with the fox, an African in a house, or African with a mouse. It doesn't matter if you don't have the ability to conjure. Number one, you won't be able to conjure. But you can learn if you have the desire to learn, to understand. Beyond that, understand this when people are like, oh, it's a closed practice. It's a closed practice. It's a closed practice. What is close to is the ancestors. You cannot access my ancestors. Point blank, period. Hoodoo is an ancestral method, which means you have to look into your ancestry and pull from those spirits. But there are methods in which you can use for example, how I'm teaching you to do this for right now, and say that I told you to use coriander for to have the loyalty in your relationships, and maybe you're going to use a different herb for loyalty. All right, and also too, just to go even further into that conversation about closed practice, again, people say this, most people say this, and the people that normally say this did not grow up in it. Most people that say this just got in it. Most people that say this are people that want to try to have ownership of something, where they feel that this is now their place or whatever. Let me make this point really, really clear. If you begin to start to scream about cultural appropriation, cultural appropriation, understand that cultural appropriation, my dear, is about culture, not race. All right. And if you want to talk about culture, the majority of people that's probably watching this grew up in a culture of Christianity. Okay. But you're here. And that's a reality. People don't want to look at that. People don't want to be people don't want to accept that truth. And then what they're going to say, oh, well, there would be no hoodoo without the Bible. No, there's you still being indoctrinated because you need Sky Daddy. You only know Sky Daddy. And for this particular reason, you're going to try to insert him in this space. No, African American, your religion, Christianity, absolutely is heavily based in Afro spiritualism, but Christianity did not make hoodoo, number one, number two, and three. But in fact, our traditional African religions, our African rhythms, our African magic, our reglement surrounding wearing white and all of those things, our voodoo, our Ifa, the religions, our magic, hoodoo, juju, wanga, kimbwa, jojo, etc., shaped our Christianity. Christianity did not shape our magic. Okay, so remember that when using Modi, is there a way to not have it affect us since it's generally fixed? So you want to cleanse. You want to cleanse yourself. You can use gloves, number one, absolutely, that's a way. But then also, two, you can, without a doubt, use a cleanser. Rather, it is cologne, vinegar, a variety of things, all right? All right, so there's that. This is the doctrine of divination, all right? The Hoodoo Tarot de la Livre Doctrine of Divination. You can find that on our website or at barnesandnoble.com, all right? So there's that. Now, the reason I'm glad that you brought this up, and we're going to go ahead and get more into this part. When you open up the Hoodoo Tarot, the Doctrine of Divination, I speak strongly surrounding culture and how culture matters. So, for example, if you are utilizing the Hoodoo Tarot de la Livre, and you are pulling these cards, no matter what they are, I'm going to just close my eyes and I'm going to pick this card, the Seven of the Heart. And if I was looking into this card, I will say, oh, well, this has the spirits of abundance. There's an abundance of great, wonderful things. Grapes, rosemary, cinnamon, sugar cane, bumblebees, black eyed peas, goes on. Now, the Hoodoo Tarot de la Livre is different because this card set is anointed, it is consecrated, it is consecrated. Because it is consecrated, you are in fact literally working with this bee, this sugar cane, this cinnamon. This is not the same as a playing card, which holds the vibrations or even the characteristics of things that you're looking for, like the Two of Clubs, for example, you know, having these two speak to that space of Padma, lazily spiritual, whether it is the spiritual allies or the confusion as a charm, because this is what this is. These are spirits. This set has spirits. If you don't believe me, put your cards, if you have these cards, put them under your pillow if you so choose. If you are truly about that life, put it under your pillow. Put it under your pillow. And then you wonder why you can't sleep, because these spirits are talking, waking, and working you in the evening hours or whenever you're sleeping. All right. But the point that I wanted to make here is when you begin to look in tarot, and especially understanding the culture, when you look at the Hoodoo Tarot de la Livre, and I'm needing to understand what do I need to, the card means to walk away from something, cut away from your past. I then know with this particular card, I need lemons, I need a knife, and I can use my shoes and open a door in order to cut away, do a cut and clear, to remove myself from anything that's going to harm me, things that don't belong to me, things I need to leave behind in my past, etc., so forth and so on. I know that because I can not read the definition. The card is saying again, leave things in the past, walk away from things or whatever in that regards. But when it comes to spiritual work, it gives me the spell work in this card. If I just simply go to the next card, we know that this card is talking about conflict. This is the going back and forth. This is the fighting. This is the tension, because we have the cat and the dog. So if I needed, so this card comes up and I know I need to do some work to make someone argue, I'm gonna get a cat hair, some dog hair. But I also know if I'm trying to obtain peace here, I'm going to reverse and see those oranges in the back, and I know that I want to use the oranges for the reconciliation, the healing aspect of things. Now, this is what I want to go to, Isaac. Them cards under the pillow is a trap. You may not come back. So I'm going to need you not to be giving disclaimers on my page. I'm going to need for you to stay in the chat with all other shenanigans, but don't be now. People aren't going to do it. I'm kidding. I'm fine. So there's that. But what I wanted to show you all is this is no different. And this is why culture really matters. Before we get into this next part, though, I do just want to say I need something to drink because I'm talking too loud, like I don't have a mic on. Oh my gosh. And my voice is like so, I'm not using my wind. I'm not supporting my breath. I am so sorry that I'm talking so loud. I need to remember, like, I don't have to speak so loud. And then I wonder why my voice is so heavy, because I'm always projecting. Like, I spent almost 10 years without a mic. And so I'm just like used to that. So, anyways, je suis désolée. Ensuite, as we move into actual tarot or Euro tarot, the wider rate tarot here, okay? What these cards provide, although they are not consecrated, these cards are not consecrated. These cards are not fixed in work, but these cards hold cultural correspondences and cultural significance. So, for example, if I was, for example, looking to let's just look at these cards here. The Hierophant, or how you want to say it. When I'm looking at this card, although this is not a card that comes from the Hoodoo Tarot de la Livre, who is this? Nobody. My phone should be on vibrate. When I'm looking at this card, we know that this is a card that talks about learning those traditional ways, learning from that teacher, those elders. You want to get back to that traditional way of learning. You want to look to that space of education. But it's all about um, excuse me, Mom. It is all about those things about the learning and so forth and so on, right? If I only had these cards and I was like, ancestors, I really need a sign. What do I need to do or where do I need to go? Well, guess what? You need to think about this culture and what things meant in this culture to the people that created this divination system. All right. But when you're looking at the bottom there, you see two keys that are crossed. You know what? Let me open the way. Open the way, open the roads, cross roads. So I could take two keys. All right. I can take two keys together. I will then sweep them apart and that will open the rows. This is crossed. This is going to open them up. If they're here, sweep them until they open. Move them until they open. Take a candle, shove them through until they open. However you want to do it. You can take a knife. All right. And what's also just very interesting is when you do look at those keys, that's one thing. But if you look down the center of his robe, it's another correspondence to the crossroads. All right. So you want to make sure that you are paying attention to these particular situations. Say, for example, I'm going to say that we're going to hmm the devil card. The devil card. Say, for example, I'm thinking about a lover in my life, etc., so forth and so on, and I'm trying to figure out what I need to do spell work wise. I'm going to do some binding. I'm going to do some binding work. I'm definitely going to do some binding work. And I'm going to do this very interestingly. And I just want to show you, you want to really look into all of these spaces, all right? Here, we have flames. I'm going to use some fire. I'm going to use some candles. What do we have on this side? Are those grapes as the tail? A large abundance of the things that I want, all right? So you can begin to use and look into these cards, but more importantly, I want y'all to understand this. When you are, again, looking at your card set, no matter which card set it is, be aware of what the symbols and the things mean in that particular space. For example, la temperance. one of my favorite card sets here. But looking at this thing, and we're seeing a chalice here, a cup that may need to be used. For a Eurocentric set, I need to use a green candle, maybe a yellow candle to get that peace in my life. Maybe a red candle. So you begin to look at these things, you begin to understand what the culture is discussing, and you will have some insight to the things that you can use. Le Miserere. Okay, so this is like the destruction card. Utilizing candle working. You see fire here, candle working. Gives you some insight. It may not give you all the exact steps, but it gives you the elements that you can use for these particular things. So, but you also, I need to make this point clear, you also need to be aware, and this is where things can get a little bit upsetting for some. This works best, I would say, with more traditional cards. Okay, the Itala Tarot, the Rider-Waite Tarot, the HOODOO Tarot de la Livre. Why? Because they are the first of their kind. They're not card sets that have been now manipulated and molded and cultivated by the culture, by the trends, which means more of a trendy deck, more of a modern deck will be misleading to what you need because they're just doing it based off of creativity, not based off of actuality, not off of actual culture and those particular things. So for example, if you have a card set that's talking about the 10 of baskets, you don't need a basket for anything to do your work. That's not what's needed. The card can't communicate that. If you're looking at this modern deck, they're saying the 5 of brooms or whatever. It's not geared towards the elements. It's really just a rendition or a duplication of what has already been done. So it's important to understand that, again, going here, la mousse. La mousse. La mousse is the card of the moss. But if I were to be doing some work, I know that I'm going to need Spanish moss. All right? Just pull. Oh, went back. Maybe I need to cut and clear. This came up twice now. So I'm just going to go. Oh, and then that one comes right back up as well. Cut and clear from the confusion and those things. Do it again. So then we look over here. If I'm looking into this card, I know that I'm going to need some star anise. I'm going to be using something from a cow or beef or abundance, but I also need star anise in order to master a situation, okay? And this isn't solely about the HOODOO Tarot de la Livre, but this is really, really, really speaking strongly to any card set that you're using that is traditionally founded. Using these cards and looking into what they are communicating, not the definition of the cards. But when you understand what they are communicating, you then have a better insight to what spell work may be needed or you want to look towards in that regard, okay? Everyone, I appreciate you all so very much for watching today. I'm not going to hold you any longer. Please remember that the description box over there has all the things that you need surrounding the HOODOO Tarot de la Livre, in addition to the HOODOO Queen Conjure FETE. Also, remember you can break down your payments into 4 easy payments. Act 4 announcement is coming up this week. on Thursday, the interview with Clan Mother. And then next Thursday, I get to release a new segment on this channel that I think you all are going to love. I think you're going to love it. I actually know that you're going to love it. And so I'm so excited. But you all have a blessed one. It's been a pleasure. And we can go deeper into this as well. We can go deeper into this as well, just because there's so many simply burning the ace of spades and blowing it into someone's direction will cause them to have negative things. Taking that same ash and throwing it at their feet will put negative things on their brows. There's like so many things like that. Taking one of these cards and sticking it behind a mirror will continue to reflect whatever that is, whether it's protection, ill health, etc. There's so many things that we still need to discuss, but this has only been an hour. So if you all would like to do like a part 2 to this, please let me know. Don't mind it at all. We can talk deeper into those things. I thank you so much for listening. I hope this wasn't a bore. I hope that this is something that you're able to use and that you are willing to use and feel confident using as well. Many blessings to all of you. And I look forward to seeing you all very soon. And get ready for the gala. Get your gowns, get your tuxes, all of the things. Do all of the things. Thank you all so much. Have a great, wonderful day. Until next time.